Hello friends, welcome back to channel NEET, and today we are going to start with the chapter with respect to state board. The chapter name is the living world. The same chapter is defined in CBSE also. So in CBSE, the living world is whole section, right? Possibly what I'll do now, I'll cover up this including this, and then at the end of that particular topic I'll make you aware of some MCQs that could be possibly asked from this particular section. So let's start with the chapter the living world. The first chapter in the syllabus is the living world. Now the first topic what I'm going to deal here is what is life, right? The first topic is going to be with what is life. So there is an small introduction which we can actually understand. Where has life started? So it was 3.6 billion years ago. Now this is a huge long time. So life originated 3.6 billion years ago, right? Slowly this evolution took place, and finally a simple cell, okay, this evolution pattern was chemical. Now this word is again important. So what is the pattern of evolution with respect to life is chemical evolution, okay? So remember this chemical evolution word. Now the next thing which possibly will go on with, they introduce to a new topic over there. They make you aware of either the topic of characteristics of life, okay, or what is living, okay? So next topic that I am going to move in is with living. Done? Okay, so this is going to be the second topic now, living. How to decide whether what is the characteristics of living, means how to decide whether a thing is living or non-living. So there are some defined words for it, some defined concept for it. That is what we are going to get included in this particular topic. For example, if I say growth, right? Now we already know growth is very important property of living things. Then we can come across a concept called as metabolism. I hope you have heard this word again, metabolism. We'll be doing this word anyways in detail, right? Then we are going to speak more in detail with respect to reproduction. Done? And finally, after that, we are going to speak with respect to sense. Now, these are some topics that we should properly know with respect to the living stuff. So, how to define a living thing? That is what is a motto is. How to define. How to define living things. Now this, how to define living things. Now basically I want you to make you aware of a word, defining property. Get this word is very important. Defining property. Okay, now this defining property is very, very, very important. Means to make you aware of what is living, either which of the following is most accurate or most correct, so that even if you just say that word, yeah, we understand ki ha, this particular thing has to be a living thing. Okay, so I'll be repeating this word many a times now, the defining property concept, how to define the living thing. Now this is a mark, very important question whenever you go on reading on the textbook, how to decide, how a person decide ki whether the particular thing is living or not. Basically what we simply say that the person or the things which can travel or move, we can say them as living, right? And the things which are stable, that is non-living. But the problem there arises is the plant. You know already, plants are the growing structures. So what is something that is going to be helping us so that we could define the property of the living thing? Okay, so I'll be first speaking with respect to growth, metabolism, reproduction, sense, right? And I'll still add on the topic as we go on. Fine, clear? More appropriately, we'll be speaking now with respect to growth. The question is, can growth actually define living? Can growth actually define living? Means it is a solo property of living things? We need to think on this. For example, if we can relate this particular out, okay, growth can be defined as, or growth has two options. Possibly growth is going to be two dimensions, and those two dimensions are, the first is internal growth and external growth. And there is one more, what is known as external growth, right? Okay, so we have something what we call it as internal growth, and what we have an external growth. Now remember this, internal growth is only the characteristics of living things. For example, we humans show internal development pattern of growth. What I mean to make you aware, for example, when we were in the fetus or in the embryo stage, okay, or rather developing into the mother's womb, right, the process of development of our skeletal or the muscular structure has been slowly been developed, right? Okay, in reproductive pattern, if I say, the embryo would be around 5, then to 20, and to 55 centimeters, and so on. It slowly and steadily it gets bulger, and finally after 9 months, okay, we get deliver out that baby, right? Fine. And then slowly and steadily his age increases, and so on the pattern of development of growth, right? So whole musculoskeletal structure, whole neurological structure, whole digestive system slow and steadily actually grows. The pattern of coordinated growth over there is internal. Therefore that particular is the property of growth. Okay, means the person, a living thing, can grow. Okay, fine. Remember this. Now the major issue is with the external growth. External growth is being seen in non-living things. External growth is seen in non-living things. I told you defining property. Can you remember that? The defining property, the word defining property, right? Okay, what is the defining property? Now the problem is that, what is the defining property of living? Growth? No. Why? Because non-living things also show growth, but the growth pattern is different. Are you getting it out? Fine, we'll justify this. What is an external growth? External growth could be, suppose there is an mountain area, okay, there is a mountain area supposing, and suppose there is an sand or soil blowing on here, so this becomes soil, right, and air blows up. So this is then coming air into it. Okay, so air is going to take soil along with it. Okay, and finally this soil particles are going to get deposited on the extremities of this particular mountain, due to which the layer of growth is seen, and this is something what we call it as external growth. So just growth cannot define someone is living or not. So therefore just growth cannot be a defining property of a living thing. Okay, fine. So external growth, the mountain area is one example. The second example could be a flowing river. Fine. Supposing a river is flowing, right, and the mountain's water or the soil texture what is going to come in across, so it can actually increase its tributaries or boundaries. So basically when the more amount of water is coming, the diameter pattern of growth gets increased, but river is a non-living thing, so that becomes better contradiction, right? Done. So basically what I mean to say ki growth is been characterized by two particular form, either internal growth or the external growth, right? Internal growth is seen in which pattern? Is the living pattern. External growth is seen in whom? The non-living things. Okay, so therefore growth cannot be a defining property for living thing. I repeat, therefore due to this concept the definition of growth changes. So growth cannot be a defining property of a living thing. Okay, fine. So we'll stop here today. We will discuss about the topic reproduction of living world in the next video. Hope you like the video. Stay tuned to our channel, subscribe the channel and like the channel. Thank you.